Thank you, Babu, for a very powerful film. Um, there's a lot going on. Um, I was especially grateful for how you try to make us see eventfulness in things that are not usually considered events, and you slowed us down, I felt, from thinking in high speed causal terms about how the world works. It's really a treat, and you've done us a service, I feel. Um, and I was also struck by how you have stories that are moving in different directions, and you don't try to offer any closure of an ideological kind or of a humanistic kind. You just let them flow. But I was curious about why the image of walking seemed to you to be central to hold everything together, if I may say that.
Um, uh, I would like to thank BIC for hosting this screening, and thanks Chandan. And yeah, actually, when I started thinking about this film, so it is also has some connection with my previous film, Gali Bija. So it's also about journey and road journey basically. So so when I started thinking how to carry further about the journey, so I thought, why let me start thinking about different kind of journey into the landscape. So I was thinking about my walk. So every day when I walking in the morning, I started noticing the different people walking, and then so I used to come back and write one word or sentence, and then I started. Basically, I'm a visual artist, so I don't really bother about the narration part of it. So, but the narration happens when juxtaposing three different characters in parallel way. And also, I think that I was thinking how I can develop a script, because there is not much to say about anything, but there's a lot of things to show. So then I decided, I started with a still image. Then I thought how to give the movement for the still image. So then it started developing a scene. So then it was also connected with one to another, and same time, after writing the script, I started deleting things, because it's very important to avoid details. There are a lot of details, unnecessary details. I started deleting things, and then also the location, because I've been working, mostly my central image is landscape in my art practice. I've been doing it from 3 decades. So even in my previous film also, landscape is one of the important, played an important role. So even in this also, because most of this location I've been keep revisiting and also making a lot of image for my regular art practice. And some of them are shown in as a photograph, digital collage in a large scale. So then this landscape was not new to me, and then this landscape also has a lot of things to say. So somehow I started thinking in terms of that. So I developed this thing.
Thank you, Babu. No, just a follow-up question. You said you're a visual artist who has come into the medium of filmmaking. And that was, I think, somewhat evident in the way it is image-centered mostly. I mean, it's not discourse-centered. There's not much speech happening, and a lot of the scenes seem like composed. And the Vishwanath's superb cinematography, he holds it still for us to see. The image is telling us the story alongside words. So I was just wondering, as a visual artist, how do you approach the idea of a script? I mean, what is a script and what does it mean to tell a story? I mean, you started telling us that. I just want you to say more.
Actually, I did my master from Baroda after bachelor's from painting in Chitrakala Parishad. So then I started thinking, I slowly moved to video. It's one of the my main interest. And also I started, after coming back from Baroda, I joined Bangalore Film Society. Kuti is here.
Yes.
So I learned a lot of things from watching films. And then for so many years I've been exposed to world cinema. But when I started writing, and then I grown up with kind of a very strong narrative structure here. Then I was thinking that how I should be, I should think about narration, because I'm not from the writer background or literature background or filmmaking background, but I'm more interested in the still and the moving images both. So somehow it all helped me to create this kind of not linear, but there is a narration.
Yes.
So I don't. I agree that there is a narration here also, but it's a different kind of narration.
Yes. You've also done the soundscape. The credits say that. So how did you approach sound? I mean, how do you want to use it here?
See, when we are doing a sing sound, there is too much of noise everywhere. Even if I'm sitting and watching, I can hear some GPS was working, somebody's message was coming. So it's very difficult to avoid there's so many noise in the atmosphere.
Yes.
So the thing is that deleting a lot of things. Each time when I go to the sound mixing, every time I had a very long list cut off.
Yeah.
So for me important how to show the silence.
Yes.
So that is more important.
Yeah.
And also working with a very senior editor, so he also helped me in a way of how to think about sound, because when we are editing, certain scene we need really very proper silence, but also there is a very subtle sound.
Yes.
So I just went through the regular scene by scene, and then even sometime I started writing a sound. When we were shooting, there was no sound. When the Shunga is sitting in a room and the procession enter and this all everything was written. It was not there when we were shooting.
Yes.
So I told Shunga to be, see now this sound is coming, procession is going like this. So some crackers are, so he just acted, so later I added sound. So some of the sounds were already written in the script.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also another thing is then earlier I used to make short videos. So for that I used to edit, I used to do sound, everything. So when I did Gali Bija, so it was very difficult to find a sound designer here. Some of them were charging too much. So I was not ready to spend that much, because already it was almost a very, spent a lot of money. Then I started learning. Then I learned few software, and then how to use ambient sound, how to use drone sound, how to use the field recording. So then I started layering and then started editing, and then I made a lot of sounds, and some of the sounds are even uploaded in the SoundCloud. Okay. So anybody can just check the sound. And also I started reading the kind of a graphic notation in a landscape. For example, there was a KGF, it's called Cyanide Beta. So when you see the layers, there is so many layers are there, because it's created, whatever they were digging from the bottom, they were filling it up. So I started, I did a 6 feet long photo collage, and then I made a graphic notation kind of a imaginary sound, what all the sounds may have happened in the underground. So then I made a 10 minutes sound piece, and it was shown in the gallery, the dark room, and the sound was 10 minutes loop was happening. So the both side was, one side was the photograph and the other side was the graphic notation. If some musician see the notation, maybe they can perform some sound.
Okay.
So all that thing helped me to go to in different experiment.
Okay, thank you, Babu. Babu, you said you wanted to show sound, silence. One of the things that struck me was there's a lot of silence in the film, but it's also a film about contemporary violence. How did you try to do representing violence through silence, which is not conventionally used? And I thought it was extraordinary, the effects of that, the use of silence to make us see the violence, as it were.
Thank you for it's a very interesting you noticed, because if you see the character, they are not saying much,
Yeah.
but you can actually feel the pain.
Yeah.
Even in the prisoners, they don't talk much. They're like just, but they have some pain in their face.
Yes.
Even most of the characters are like that in that thing. So it looks very simple, but sometimes when you see there is a violence is happening in the
Yes.
scene.
Yes.
If somebody like there was a guy comes with a books in a bag, so the police just arrest without
Yes.
any reason.
Yes.
So these things are we have been seeing everywhere,
Yeah.
and also so the violence is very much part of the silence.
Yeah. Thank you, Babu. Babu, I just from the first watch, it's interesting what historical objects are doing in this film. There are different kinds I could quickly notice. One is this, references like the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which both of them know, the editor as well as the photojournalist. And then you have photographs that only he knows, and that takes him back to some personal memories that are brought alive. And then you have the huge buildings, the abandoned church, and of course the mountains, and then you have all these objects that the camera lingers on, like the camera and the exposed, the reels and the old suitcase. Just wondering what you are doing with these different kinds of objects from the past.
Yeah, one is it's not just a memory.
Yeah.
There is something I always have interest in the old device, which is also very important in the history of art or film, cinema,
Yeah.
which is completely changed the entire trend. When the camera was invented and the My Bridge was photographs I showed, the horse galloping the horse. So
Agreed, yeah.
just because of that photograph, cinema exists.
Yes.
And there is a TV on the suitcase, Buddha watching TV. It's also a reference to Namjoon Paik. It's one of the father of video art.
Yes.
And there is a lot of other thing, even the cabinet Caligari.
Yeah.
It's something reference to the cinema. That church also, because we have been watching, I'm a great fan of Tarkovsky. So it's something like a kind of a dream kind of Tarkovsky-ish image.
Mm.
And also I'm come from the Asan, Sakleshpur.
Yeah.
So that also again something connection with my own personal thing. And also I use a lot of variety of images from various sources. So
Babu, except for the very talented Shrunga, I think most others are non-professional actors, including myself, I must say. But what were you? What was this decision all about?
no, actually I would like to work with the non-actors. Shrunga is exceptional because he understands the character. Even I've seen some of his play, theater thing, and he is it's very difficult to work with a theater person.
Yeah.
So he is very subtle and he understands the character. Even one scene, see something when you say some explain in the film, everything it is just it died there.
Mm.
So when we were shooting and with the fakir, with the what do you call attar scent
Scent,
perfume.
yeah.
So we were discussing how to show the smell in the film. So if you say something, it's over.
Yeah.
But then I was explaining. Shunga said, even I don't want to say anything because. So then we discussed, and then I told him one story. Something happened in the train long back when I was studying in Baroda. So somebody came and then did something like this, and they were selling some, and the person was sitting next to me. He bought that thing, and there was no smell or anything. So I told this story. He said it's a very good thing. See, these are the thing actor or editor or even a camera person or somebody. Even when I was working with you, I said I need your words,
Yes.
not my what I have written in the
Yes.
text. So it helped me to, and also the thing is, one if I don't want my character to speak one particular language.
Mm.
So they have their own, and it will contribute very much because in a city, each and every person talks very differently.
Mm.
So it's not the same thing.
Yes. No.
I may lose my Sakleshpura accent, but there is a lot of people who still, my friends still talk like a North Karnataka accent.
Yes.
So this is very important. It's all languages, not just one. There are many things where.
Yeah, no, that's one of the many pleasures of the film. I mean, you heard people speak in ways that you ordinarily hear people speak. It's not special in film speech. One last question. The title of the film is, of course, from Allama's famous Vachana. Do you want to say why this line holds that a significance for you?
Yeah, actually, I am very much inspired from Allama's Vachanas. And also because he constructs some very strong image. And at the same time, in the same Vachana, he had completely destroyed also. And when I was thinking about the title, I was shooting without the working title. So then I took a long time to decide. And then first I decided Nadadastu Darigal. But then somehow I didn't like it. So, but I wanted something to capture all my thoughts in one word or sentence. So then suddenly this Vachana helped me because I just taken the one single line. So I didn't go into the complete thing because just the one sentence was giving me that image. So, Harivanadiga Mayala Kala.
Thank you, Babu. We have time for questions from the audience.
Shrunga, did a good job. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸರ್ ಎಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ. ದಟ್ ಲೇಡಿ ಆರ್ಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹಸ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವರಿಲ್ಲ.
ನನಗೆ ಒಂದನ್ಸಿದ್ದು ಏಕತಾನತೆಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ. ಇಡೀ 3 ಪಾತ್ರಗಳನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏಕತಾನತೆಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನಲ್ಲೇ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪಾತ್ರಗಳು ಹರಳುಗಟ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಕೈದಿಯ ಸುತ್ತಳ ಪರಿಸರ, ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬಳು ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಗರ್ಲು, ಅವಳ ಮನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಶೋರೂಮು, ಇದರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸೇತುವೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಫ್ರೀಲಾನ್ಸ್ ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಾಫರ್, ಅವನು ಅಲೆದಾಡ್ತಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಈ 3 ಪಾತ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ಹೆಣೆದಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ, ಹೆಣೆದಿರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ 1-2-3 ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಸೇರ್ತವೆ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಸೇರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಸೇರ್ತವೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ದಾರಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹರಿಯುವ ನದಿಗೆ ಮೈಯೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಲು. ಅಂದರೆ ಹರಿತಾನೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸುತ್ತ ಬಾಚ್ಕತನೂ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅವರು ಕೈದಿ ಬರಿತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಚಿತ್ರ ಹರಿಯುವ ನದಿನೇ ಬರೀತಾನೆ, ಸುತ್ತ ಗುಡ್ಡ ಬರೀತಾನೆ, ಪಟ್ಟಣಗಳು ಬರೀತಾನೆ, ಆವರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಈ ಎರಡೇ ಪಾತ್ರಗಳು ಇಡೀ ಗಾಢತೆಯನ್ನು ಬೀರೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ನನಗನ್ನಿಸ್ತು. ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಸೆಳೆಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಇಡೀ ಸಿನಿಮಾದ ಟೈಟ್ಲ್ ಹೊರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಭಾರ ಏನಿದೆ, ತುಂಬ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಟೈಟ್ಲ್ ಅದು. ಆ ಭಾರನ ಈ ಎರಡೂ ಪಾತ್ರಗಳು ಹೊರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ವೇನೋ, ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನಿಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೇನೋ, ಇದು ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ.
ಅದು ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಉತ್ತರ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅದು ನಿಜ. ನಾನು ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರ್ಸೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಖಾಲಿತನ, ಆ ರೊಟೀನ್. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿರಲ್ಲ, ರೊಟೀನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು 3 ಪಾತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ಲಾಗಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಅದು 3 ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಆದರೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ಲಾಗಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಒಂದರಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ 3 ಒಂದೇ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾ ಅಥವಾ 3 ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆನಾ, ಅಥವಾ 3 ಜನರಲ್ಲೂ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಥರ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಈಗ ಆ ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಾಫರು ಆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ಕೇಪ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಏನೋ ತನ್ನನ್ನು ತಾನು ಏನೋ ಹುಡುಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಥರ ಇದೆ. ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಶೂ ಅಂಗಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋ ಹುಡುಗಿ, ಅದು ದಿನ ಕೆಲಸದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಏನೋ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಅದು ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಹುಡುಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾಳ? ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಇದಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಜೈಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಗೋಡೆ ಮಧ್ಯ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ನರ್ಸರಿ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯೋ ವಾಕ್ನ ಏನೋ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಗೋಡೆ ಮೇಲೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕೆಲವು ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬಿಡಿಸಿ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೆ, ಆಗಲೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ, ಸೊ ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಿಂತೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಹಾಲಲ್ಲೇ ಅದು ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ ಕಾಳಜಿ. ಸೊ ಸಿನಿಮಾದು.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಐ ಗಾಟ್ ಯು.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್.
ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಾಫರು ನೀವೇ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ ನನಗೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಜಾಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಎ ವಿಷುವಲ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಸ್ಟ್. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ನೆಸ್ ಇದೆ ಇಡೀ ಮೂವಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಫ್ರೇಮಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಆ ಸಮುದ್ರ ತೀರದಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾವು ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಗಳನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಆ ಅಲೆ ಬಂದು ಅದನ್ನು ಅಳಿಸೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅದು ಅಳಿಸೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಬೋರ್ಡಮ್ ಇದೆ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ನೋಡಿ, ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಇಟ್ಟಾಗ ಅಬ್ಸ್ಟಕಲ್ಸ್ನ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಒಪ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೈದಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಾಫರು ಆ ಗುಡ್ಡೆನ ಯಾಕೆ ತೆಗೆದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಚಿತ್ರೀಕರಣ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕೂಡ ಕಷ್ಟ, ಒಂದು ತೆಗೆಯೋದು ಕೂಡ. ಅವ್ಳು ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ನು ಬೇಜಾರಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ 100 ಫ್ರೇಮ್ಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿನಿಮಾದಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ವಿಜುವಲ್ ನರೇಷನ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಟಫ್. ಅದು ಆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಟೈಮ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಿತ್ತು, ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ನನಗನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ವಿಜುವಲ್ ನರೇಷನ್, ಡೈಲಾಗೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ವಿಜುವಲ್ ನರೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಟೆಲೆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್. ಒಬ್ಬ ಮೂಕ ಕೂಡ ನೋಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫಿಲ್ಮನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಆ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ವಿಜುವಲ್ ವರ್ಕೌಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಸಮರ್ಥನೀಯವಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಚಿತ್ರವನ್ನು ತೆಗೆಯುವುದಾಗಿತ್ತೇನೋ ಅಂತ ನನಗನ್ನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಇನ್ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿಲ್ಲ.
ನೀವು ಮೊದಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಅದು ಆ ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಾಫರು ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ನಾನಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಹೌದು, ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನೇ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಲ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಸುಮಾರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ ಉದ್ಭವಗಳಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ನನಗೆ ಸೇರಿದ್ದ, ಅಥವಾ ಇದು ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿದ್ದ, ಅಥವಾ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇದು ನಂದಾಗುತ್ತಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಇದು ನಾನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನಾದ್ರು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ?
ನನಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಶೃಂಗ ಪಾತ್ರ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅವರು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಪಾತ್ರ ನೀವೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತೀರ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ವಿಜುವಲ್ ನರೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಎ ಲಿಂಕ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನು ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಫಿ ತೆಗಿತಾ ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಫ್ರೇಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ.
ನಾನು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನೆಂದರೆ, ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ನನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ ಕಟ್ತಾ ಹೋದೆ. ಅದೇನಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಅದು ನೋಡಿದವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸಲ ನೋಡಿದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅದು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಅನಿಸ್ಬೋದು, ಎರಡನೇ ಸಲ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡನೇ ಸಲ ನೋಡಿದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅದು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಅನಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಪ್ರತಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಅದು ಬದಲಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೇನಂದರೆ, ನನಗೆ ಈ ಸಿನಿಮಾಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸಾಕೇನೋ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಕೂತಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಹುಡುಗ ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಉದ್ದ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಪ್ರತಿ ಸೌಂಡು ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ದಿನ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಹೋಗಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಸ್ಟುಡಿಯೋಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೆ.
ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಚಿತ್ರೀಕರಣ?
ಅದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ 3-4 ವರ್ಷ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನು ಟೈಮ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇನ್ನೂ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 2 ವರ್ಷ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಖಂಡಿತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ
ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಜ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈಗ ನಾನು ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಮಾಡುವಾಗಲೇ 3ನೇ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಮೈಂಡಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅದು ನಾನು 3ನೇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿರಲ್ಲ, 2ನೇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ವರ್ಕಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಥರ ರೂಪ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ವರ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಓಕೆ. ಸಿ ವಿಶ್ವನಾಥ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ an artist and a painter, and he studied from Kent School of Art and then from Shantiniketan. So we have some kind of understanding because we both are from the same background. So then, so for the first film also he did my camera work, and so we have some kind of understanding. And it's very important, as earlier also I mentioned, so each and every single person in the film, it may be my film, but I can't just make it without their contribution. So every time when we go to the location and see what is the light, from where, which direction is coming, so whether even I may already fix the location and the frame, but still sometimes we change it. So we both discuss, and sometimes even when the editor was also part of the team, so 3 of us sometimes we discuss. And then, but most of the frames are I already decided how it should be. And there is one when the prisoner was pouring the water, so the camera was this side, and then I told the camera should go that side. So then, because he is an editor and he was acting, he said it will become a reverse shot. So then I didn't know about this reverse shot, because then I asked him what is reverse shot. So the people are watching from the angle from this side, so you are showing this particular frame. If you go that side, then the audience has to be move the other side. So I said, I don't care, because we'll manage it. So I said, is it not used in the thing? He said, no, even Kasarvali is also used in one of the film, I think. So I said, yeah, we'll go for it. So everything when we are shooting, it is not just shooting one frame. So we have to have a lot of discussion and everything. So it is, sometimes we have to break the rules. So most of the time what I am trying is, unlearning things. For me, filmmaking is an extension of my visual art practice, but unlearning things. So I have to unlearn a lot of things. Still I have some burden. I have to unlearn more.
Thank you, Babu. I mean, I can't not also mention along, just in closing,
Okay.
there are of course 3 stories,
Yeah.
but then you have very many legs that you see wearing different kinds of sandals, shoes, chappals, and clothing, and so there's a lot going on in the film. I mean, in closing, do you want to say anything about how you want?
There are many legs, and
Yeah.
each will belongs to I don't know how to put it, but some of the frames are local and from the different state, different country. So there is, most of them are in a hurry going to the work or something, or wearing some different things. So these gives a lot of different story.
Yes.
So I think
Yes.
there are many things to say, but right now I speak very less, and I have a very limited words. So within the limitation, I try to explain my.
Thank you, Babu. Congratulations again on this lovely,
Thank you.
actually
Thank
wonderful
you
and
all
disturbing
for
film.
coming.
Actually, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to BIC for hosting this event, and thank you all for coming.